Hi, it's Todd Duncan. I want to welcome you to our strategy session. This is a chance for us to get together every single month and for about 10 minutes, park on an idea that I think can make a profound difference in our business and our life. And I learned the lesson that I want to teach you today early in my career, and I learned it in a couple different ways that I want to share with you. But if I were to maybe title this strategy session, the question would be, what is your signature? You look behind me and you see a signature, if you will, a squiggle on our wall, and it prompted me to begin to think about all the times in our business where we are trying to promote an image, and whether we sign it or not, as a metaphor, our image is being projected to people on a regular basis. What we do in terms of the quality that we apply to whatever it is that we produce goes into collectively making our signature. I remember when I was a young loan officer, I had a conversation with my manager, and he had asked me to sit down so he could talk to me about something, right? And if you've ever had a manager say to you, I need to talk to you about something, then you know that kind of the trepidation or maybe the fear might be there. And sure enough, he sat down and he said, "You're really good, but I think you could be better. And I see an opportunity for you that I need to help you improve." And I said, okay. So he framed it in a very nice way. And I said, so what is that? And he said, your loan applications are very, very hard to read. Okay, now these are the old days. We didn't have scanning. We didn't have anything online. Everything was done by hand. If you take that metaphor and apply it to everything today, whether it's an actual signature or not, it is a representation of your image. Well, what Bob did is he said, what we need to do is we need to figure out how to make your applications really beautiful. In fact, he went a step further and he said, I want you to think about Picassoizing your loan files. And I said to him, I said, what does that mean? And he said, well, you know Picasso the painter, and obviously I did. And he said, it's interesting that Picasso did not sign every painting he started. He only signed the paintings that he thought would resonate with the kind of value and quality that he wanted to create. In other words, he was putting his signature on his work only when he knew his work was of the quality and the standard that he wanted his signature associated with. And so by way of talking with Bob and doing some things differently with my loan files, and by being a little bit more thorough and understanding that everything I wrote down or did not write down kind of represented my signature to an underwriter, to a processor, to other people involved in the loan transaction. So when I got really clear that quality can produce quantity, I took my eye off doing as many loans as I could, and I put it on, let's do every loan brilliantly. And if we did every loan brilliantly, then what would end up happening is my signature, my stamp, would become known in such a way that it would pull business to me. And sure enough, that's what happened. And I was number one or number two in my company for the entire time that I originated loans. And I believe one of the decisions I made was, what is your signature? Picassoize your loans. I didn't any longer turn in loans that were not quality. I didn't turn in loans that were abstract. I didn't turn loans in that didn't have all the presumptive questions that underwriters would ask, not answered. In fact, what I did is I took my signature a step further and I explained why I thought this loan was a loan that we should make. I said and showed to them what I saw in that loan. That was, again, another signature. I remember early in some of my marketing endeavors that a couple people called me out on, did you know that this had a misspelled word? Or did you know that this wasn't grammatically correct? And I didn't know that. I mean, I'm a salesperson. I'm kind of riding fast and trying to do deals, and I didn't pay attention to some of those issues that really collectively go into my signature, my stamp. And the same is true for you, that whatever you put your signature to has to be represented to the community, to your peers, to the collective ecosystem in which you serve. as nothing but super powerful, super positive, and super beautiful, done well, done respectfully, done artistically, done accurately. So it's interesting. We have a policy in our company, and even sometimes it doesn't work, but we oftentimes say nothing goes out without at least 2 sets of eyes. I'm not gifted in the area of proofing. I want people on my team to make sure what we send out is representative of what we believe in and puts that stamp of approval. The same is true for you. Whatever your marketing looks like, whatever your flyers look like, whatever your newsletters look like, are they done beautifully? Are they done brilliantly? Are they done accurately? Are they done articulately? And do they put a stamp, that signature that your brand is affiliated with and associated with, in a way that is beautiful? Every time I have the privilege or the honor of autographing a book, I know that when I'm writing my signature, I'm putting a stamp to the 225 pages that are in that book. And I oftentimes think about how proud I am of the content, and I've asked the question, is it worth my signature? There's a difference between autographing a book just because somebody asked you to, and autographing a book because it puts a stamp of pride on the work that you've created. So this lesson is, what is your signature? What is your brand saying? And what are the things that you do each and every day communicating to the buying public, to the prospect ecosystem you're trying to pull business out of? And when you're retaining clients, what do you say? What do you do? What is spelled out? How's it spelled out? How creative is it? How beautiful is it? How articulate? How accurate is it? And that branding decision also then exemplifies and personifies the kind of signature that pulls business in. Doesn't push it away, but pulls it in. I oftentimes think about how slowing down oftentimes improves the level of communication, level of quality that we apply to our work. I know that when I spend more time just slowing down, thinking about what it is I want to say before I actually write the words, it comes out more often. I do this all the time when I'm signing a birthday card or a congratulations card. I always think what I'm about to say, what I'm about to write down is going to be in ink, and it could be indelible. It could be there forever. I have people that have actually said that the notion of a handwritten card from me and the quality of that card and just the meaningfulness of the words that I choose to use is, again, a stamp of my signature. It's something that is thought out. It's something that is articulate. It is something that's meaningful, and it's beautiful to the soul of the person receiving it. I talked to somebody yesterday who still has a card on their wall that I sent to them over a decade ago as a reminder to them every single day of their relationship with me. Those are the things that our signature does for us. There's many more, obviously, but the question that I would ask you to think about is, what are you signing? What are you putting your stamp of approval on? And is it worthy of the brand that you want to create? If I go back to Picasso, it's interesting. You'll never find a painting today that is unsigned by him that is worth anything. You will only find the most priceless paintings that he has done, those being the ones that contain his signature. And the reason for that is he had enough discipline, he had enough character, and he had enough courage to only do things at a level of excellence. And that's what I want you to be thinking about. Your work defines you. How you do it, when you do it, with whom you do it, and the way that you support it with all that we've talked about is a stamp on your brand, on your name, and ultimately, it is your signature in the marketplace. So think long and hard about this. Think about where you can just take quality up a little bit. Take up the initiatives to make sure everything is done right. Delegate where you're not skilled to look at brand quality. Many of you work for companies that have marketing departments. Make sure that this message is communicated with them as well. They're on your team. They're part of your brand. They're part of the company brand. They're part of making everybody look good. We cannot for a moment stop and not ask the question, how can we deliver our signature at the highest level possible? If every time you sign and you put your name on something and you're prideful of it and you're proud of it and you know that it's done well and it's done right, it's going to pay off handsomely in the marketplace. Pay attention to the details of the quality that you deploy in all that you do, and you'll be highly sought after in the market.